What's up, it's Chris from Motorcycling Kiwi Style, and I'm getting ready for a dirty weekend. Let's get real. I'm actually getting the XR200 ready for tomorrow. I'm taking it out, doing a practice day out at the track. Also taking my young fella out on his JR80. It's going to be an absolutely awesome Sunday. But first of all, we got to get this XR prepped and ready. Right, let's get into it. First things first, we need tools. Now, first thing on our list was checking the oil. Now, you really got to do this when the engine's cold because the oil is a lot thicker and it gives you a better rating. Oil's quite thick when it's cold, but I'll pull this out for the purposes. Now, being plastic, you've got to be so careful you don't cross-thread these when you put them back in. I may have done that back in the past, but yes, you don't need to know that. So let's have a look at this. Nice dry dipstick. Now, don't ever screw it in. Just let it rest there. We'll pull out the dipstick and we'll see if it needs more oil. That's pretty good. It's not too bad. You see the oil just there. And they're all still in good condition, so probably doesn't need an oil change. I did look at doing that, but I'll just make sure it's good enough. Now, be careful when you're screwing these in, just nice and gently. Nice and gently. There it is, and just give it a little firm nudge. Do not use tools on this. When I get it started, we'll recheck the oil. Probably find I may need to put a bit in. Check the spokes, you say? Tension. If you've got a loose spoke, it can weaken the wheel, especially if you're going to do a few jumps, which of course I'm not going to do tomorrow. Right, let's have a look at those spokes. What we do now is we spin the wheel and then we run a big screwdriver across it. What you're doing, you're looking for nice ringing note. If you hear a dull, like that one there, could probably do a bit of tightening. Also, the other thing too is you'll be able to find out if you've got a cracked spoke. That one there could do with a tension as well. That one's good. Not too bad. So I'll come back to those other ones. Right, let's go the other side. Spin the back wheel. If you haven't got a workshop stand, really do get one, eh? Now, go this way. Now, the beauty of the XR is that it's made for competition to a degree. And what it does, it makes taking the wheel out really easy. And also, you have minimal tools to tension and everything. So we use this 24mm ring spanner. Just pop it on here. And then get a hammer and just give it a wee tweak like that, nice and easy. Actually, probably find that this old tool was out of a toolkit at some stage. Yeah, it's seen better days, but for this it works absolutely fine. Just give it a wee tweak. First of all, let's check the chain tension. See, that's a little loose, but you don't want to tension it to road bike specs, otherwise you end up snapping the chain or stuffing the wheel bearings if you do sort of quite aggressive jumps and riding. Now there's about 10 inches to travel here, so what's going to happen is as the rear axle comes up, the chain tensions, and as it goes up again it softens and then comes back down, tensions, and goes soft again. So we're looking probably one little tweak here. Now just loosening off this axle nut. Just loosen off a little more. Now what you've got is these are called snail cam adjusters, and they've got numbers on them and they've got serrations, and instead of having twist and turn nuts and bolts, this here makes it super easy. So all you got to do is just give it one little tweak. Sometimes you just got to give it a little bit of persuasion. That's about right. Sort of 50-60 millimeters, I think. But remember where you are and make sure you do it on the other side as well. Exactly same process. Just give the back wheel a bit of a push and then do the same there. It's alright. We've done that, and then if we spin the rear wheel, we check the chain tension now. Now this has got brand new chain of sprockets from when I first did up the bike, and I haven't done heaps of rides on it, so they should be in really good condition still. That's looking pretty good. But we'll recheck the tension after I've done a bit of riding tomorrow. So when you tighten it up, try not to push it backwards. Otherwise, you're going to tension the chain yet again, and it's going to pull these snell cams up. So what I suggest you do is pull it under, tighten up underneath like that. Yeah, a little bit tricky to get off. Come on, get off. And then another one. Right, just check those snell cam adjusters are tight. Respin the wheel. Looking good. Now, one thing I did is I spent a fair bit of money and got some really good Michelins. So I thought, well, if I'm going to do some events, I'll spend the money. So these are Michelin Starcross softs. The soft being that it probably won't last forever, but it'll be super grippy. Now at the moment I've got fairly hard pressures in here, I think around the 30 psi, but for tomorrow I'm expecting it to be quite soft and muddy, so I'll probably drop it down to around 15, maybe 18 psi. We'll wait and see what it's like out there. Now the next thing we've got to do is give the chain a bit of a lube up. Now it's not looking the best, it's quite grimy, so just run through. The best way to do it is a toothbrush, but I'll just go through and just give it a bit of a quick clean. Just give this a decent clean. Do it on the outside and the inside. See bits of mud falling off already, which is good. Now I've run out of chain lube, of course, so I'm going to have to use a bit of CRC instead. I know there's going to be a lot of haters say, why are you using CRC? Should be using WD-40. But for all intents and purposes, this should do for now. And we'll get some proper chain lube. So don't shoot me. Just like to keep things nice and tidy. That's why I put a towel underneath here. Feel free to leave some comments and just tell me what you think of me using the CRC. I'd love to hear it. It's going to be like a, oh seriously, are you kidding me? But this is just temporary, and I promise I'll get some proper chain lube. So that looks alright, nice and clean. The chain could still do with a bit of a clean up, but after the ride I'll pull it all completely apart. Ooh, that need a little bit of a tweak. That's good. 10mm is probably the most common used on here. Now, not sure about keeping these handguards on. I'm in two minds. Yeah, they sort of work if you're doing some enduro riding, but I may take them off for tomorrow. What do you guys think? Should they stay on or should they come off? Let's go through, check that's good. Yep, it's nice and tight. Check this one here, that's good. Check these two mounts here. These are on rubber mounts too. Nice and tight. That's good. Now this mudguard is a replica mudguard. It's from a company called Maya, which is an American one. It came without drill holes in it, so I had to try and line it up. As you can see, the colour doesn't match the tank. I'm not particularly fond of it, but I'm looking for a genuine one, and they're so difficult to find. That's okay, we'll get there one day. Got the remote reservoir shock mount. Let's give that a bit of a check. It's good. That's good, nice and tight. These stickers tend to come off a little bit. If you ever see old footage of dirt bikes, quite often the stickers are missing and all that. They never last long. While we're here, we'll check the other tank mount. It's always good to do things in pairs. Check the muffler. Now, one little tip is to never super tight your clutch lever and your brake levers. let them move around a little bit, so if you fall off you can get them back into place and it stops the lever breaking. And also you can adjust them, how you want. Same with the brake lever. Pull it up, pull it down, just readjust it how you want. Make sure this is nice and tight. This is your throttle cable. Should have just a little bit of play in it. That's fine. Got this original old crash pad, so that's really cool. Stop switch, super important. Make sure there's no wires frayed or anything. It's looking nice and good. Handlebars should be nice and tight. We'll just run over and check the fork triple clamps, make sure they're tight. Now they're a 14mm. Right, one last thing we'll do is the brakes. Now it's looking nice and good. Probably do it with a little bit of lube though. These brakes are super easy to adjust. Part of the Enduro heritage. They sort of lost that with the later XRs as they become more play bikes. It's a bit of a shame. Honda really had it sorted back in the 80s. Just pity they didn't really keep going. This here is for the decompressor cable, and what that does is makes it easy to kickstart. I took it off. I mean, geez, it's a 200cc 4-stroke. It's not that bad. Let's check the front brakes. Yep, I don't like to have them too tight. At the end of the day, the front brake's only there for show. It's worse than useless. Typical period bike. That's pretty normal, bit of play there. 1982 bike, what do you expect? 40 years old. Wheel bearings are good. No rim lock in this one for some reason. It's got the hole there, but I think the rear one's more important. Got some zip ties here. There is actually a proper bracket for that, but do you think I could find one? Gauge is looking good, Nick. Everything else is good. Thanks for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this very quick tutorial on how to get the bike, the XR200 mainly, ready for the track. It'll just be a fun day tomorrow, so it won't be anything too major. Got some GoPros all sorted for the ride itself. Should be a lot of fun and should be able to share some really cool footage. Thanks for watching, and if you really enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. Feel free to put comments in about what was cool, what was not so cool. Also tell me that I needed some chain lube, and also to use WD-40 and not CRC. Till next time, ride safe.